Hello, so good to see you. Hala, Vinette, Kim, Anwar, so nice. This is supposed to be a very communicative session. So let me set up the rest here. It is so good to be able to do this and do my work because it's super interesting for me to build with you, see what works, what doesn't, and if you enjoy the sessions and that we can grow this app together too, since many of you are also users. So for today, what we are going to do is to work on a new feature. Allah, it's joining from Damascus, Syria. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Why you share my screen? So let's start. 5 minutes in, and here you see my phone on the right side, right? And what we are going to do today, you see now on Bravo Vision. Bravo Vision, you show you this app here, version A, version B, if I'm not wrong. So this is the testing app, and you see that actually here on this version way A, you have a prototype that goes to the feature expert. So I am clicking on it. Today, what happens with the UX UI hub, I will show you very soon. It is that we load the featured expert and it loses this gradient around it that it looks like a story. What we are going to do, it is really to make that a simple page. So this page here, it's really a test. Until probably a couple of months ago, this was not possible with no code. And this is the thing when you are actually working with no code, right? Today, this app is set to do that feature in 3 pages. And things are evolving, like AI is evolving so much too. So you have to have in mind that even if you are not able to do things today, it doesn't mean that this you not be possible in the near future. Sometimes you just have to check the roadmap and things you'll be there. For example, Bravo right now, it's working on an iPad version, which I'm super excited about, and I want to try it as soon as it's released. It also includes web components. It can be made with AI. Then you have a web component that can be replicated. It's really cool too. When I wanted to add, for example, the login page to this app, I just had to do a very painful process using Firebase. Right now, they also have integration with Kind, and Kind allow you to have 10,000 users on your app for free without anything. And it's really easy to set up. It's something that I did set up for another app now for 15 minutes. I probably spent 4 to 6 hours trying to do that using Firebase before. So things are evolving. And in this case here, I had a lot of pain. You see, I have 3 pages, and what they do right now, it's like when I click in the first featured expert, it is showing the first page. When I click in the second one, it's going to the second page. And then after that, they are coming to the first page when you click on the first item or the second. So I needed 3 pages to set this up, and I also lose the navigation. But it was not really simply just do the page. You see that we have to bind every single element here. It's like the image, the city, the date, also the bio of the expert, the images, everything I had to set up it 3 times. So this is a huge advancement here. And it can be used to so many things, like these types of, for example, carousels, where you have a little simple filter that we will be seeing next time that we do the build a clock. It will be about the job search that we are using here in collaboration with Open Doors. Let me open how it looks right now. Sometimes I lose myself in the file too. So here you see the jobs. There is right now just job posts, and you can do a filter through the search here. So next week, what we are going to do is to set up those filters. So you learn today the basics for us to do that filtering next week. So let's do it, right? What we are going to do, it will be live. So now I will show you the app, how it is right now. Let's come back to the live app. And this is the app that you also have in your phone working there. And you see that the UX UI hub now, when you come to the experts, you see that navigation happening. So if I click in Megan, then you see the gradients vanishes, but the data comes in. Ozone, the same. So the gradient is never there again because this is a secondary page and that's how it's working right now. But this had to be set up point by point. And if I come back to Joseph, yes, he has the gradient, but nothing else. So now we are really making this possible with this much smaller structure that will be a very single page. And for that, we are going to see how did I set up this one for us to set up that one. So I have not done it, right? And we are doing it together. I will just log into my Bravo account, right? I have the UXUI hub here, but I also want to open. So I will go back and I also want to open the testing just for you to see how that was set up testing. So that is the app that we are seeing there. And that page is this one. So we are going to replicate this page here on the experts. Let's see which name is. So I will start by deleting later on. So it is expert featured. So this page is the only one I will maintain and I will delete the rest. You know, this will be broken for a while and I should care a lot, but since you are learning with it too, I won't. So, okay, we are going to break it. I will just delete these pages and that's it. It's deleted. Now let's see what I did here that was different, right? Like here I have just the top. We can see here from the layers what there are. So I have a menu, a title, then this expert slider, and inside that I have an expert and so on. So I will check it out right now in the live app how this is set up. First, we already see here there are 2 items and here there is just one. Why? Because now it's kind of I am seeing which item is being clicked. So I don't need the second one. I will just delete it. The second one is like, okay, I named it expert. I could name it an expert there too, but I could also maintain just 01. It doesn't really matter because this has no Bravo tag here. Okay. Okay, what I have here is a button with an action remote. So here, let's see, we have a button, but there is no action remote. So I will resize the button here and I will add the action remote. So I'll just copy and paste here. Great. What this action remote does is that it will pass the ID of that item that you clicked to the back end and that you treat which one has been clicked or not. So, okay, action remote is here. Then I have the expert, the live, gradient, picture, and full name. So I have picture, full name, and gradient. Here the order doesn't really matter because none of the elements are really going on top of each other. So we have everything we need here on top. And for the button, I did not change anything. So the thing here is really the navigation. You see that things were set up exactly the same. So we have here picture, full name. So I will just open just for you to see. So I did remove some of the items, you, LinkedIn, and so on to make it easier. And in the end, so that's simply it. That's the setup we are going to have. But right now, so I don't need this anymore. I don't need that component anymore. And our page is done. That's it, what we need to do on Figma. And as soon as I refresh my file here, the live app, you lose its function. So you see the page like this because the data is not coming from anywhere. I will do it just for you to see how it will look. If you have any questions, any comments, just be sure to add them to the chat. If you want to communicate, to make any comment on it, do the same. Just raise your voice and communicate. So now you see here, the other experts page actually vanish. And if I go to connect and come back to experts, it's still working because it's loaded, but I will close and open the app. Okay, so now you have Joseph and everything is still bind. So we lost the whole list, but now we need to connect it in a different way. And you see it now. So here you have the expert slider and then the expert. And here I'm testing already with the real data. And in this, I'm getting the expert and I will go to request just for you to see which request is this. So I created a script for it. And I created an echo script too, which is actually very simple. I will explain you a little bit about that. So when we get to hear the new expert, I am going to here to our expert. I am going to bind with the UXY hub, and I am going to search for featured expert, because that is the name of my table here. And I will go to the request. The request here is definitely different. So we want the request to be very similar to what we have right now. If I click send here, you see a lot of data, right? But if I do this here, you see that the data is a little bit more organized, and it's actually giving me the one item that you clicked and the rest in a very simplified way. There is a question here, so let me see. Scott is asking, hi Carl, once you have designed the app in Bravo, what does the process look like to then get it to the App Store? That's a great question, Scott, and I would really love to talk more about publishing the app, and I will very soon. It is very normal process like you do in development an app with code. It's actually the same process. You get a bundle and you go to the store, you fill up a bunch of forms asking for more information about your app, the app screens and so on, and you publish it. It's exactly how you would do with code. The only difference is that here you are building inside Bravo, and then you are getting this bundle, and the other one you are building with code. You do the whole process or show a bit more about the process in a workshop that I will be giving very soon, end of May at UXCEL. In this workshop, I will show the step-by-step of getting an app from the bundle to the App Store. If you want to learn more about it, I will add the link on the follow-up email from today's call. So let's get back to where we were. Great. Okay, so here we have this that we need to use, this data. So what I do is to add the same data request here. I will actually search if any of these is already using something like that, and none is really, you see here, it's actually right now a lot of these resources and so on, and we are going to make it just a single one. So I will add here new expert featured, and afterwards I will delete the rest. And here I will also add a parameter. Let me get which one I added here. I didn't add anything, so let's see if this is the DL. Yes, it's good. So we have everything here, and we have to select, like we did the class before, we have to select all the items that we actually want or need. You will see here that the expert is actually getting all. So I will do the same here. I'm not selecting any of the records. I will get everything. So I want all the experts. I want the ID. I want the full name, the picture. Also, I want to know if the gradient for that item is true or false. So then I have the ID. The ID is happening many times, but I will select all of them. I won't select all of them. I will select just the first one. Then we have the first name, the job, last name. You see all of the items here are items that I will actually need. And in here is the URL, so of the image, we will need that too. The file name is not important. The thumbnails are also not so important. So we have here the full name. You see here first name. So we are using actually the full name. So I will remove, and we are also using not company and job, but we are getting a whole field that's called work. So work, city short. I'm just using city. Then we have here work long. So work's good. The newsletter doesn't really matter here. What we need more, we need the bio, the title for the bio, also the title of the impact area. You see here on the side. So is this how Joseph Louis impact others? Is this one? Then here I show which areas actually we are using or not. So we need all of this. Then we have the date, the field links, the pronouns, the short bio, the publish, then username. It can be a little bit more complex, and actually this you don't need either. So here there are all these secondary items, right? The links, the books, the resources, we are getting this already from other places, so we keep doing that. Then user ID, and we have a picture URL too. I will add this one just to see which one is the best. And we have description, which we don't need. So all these variables now are here, and we are going to use them now. The other thing that we need to is echo request. And this echo request is pretty simple. What the only thing it does is that it returns the data ID that was clicked. So you come here and you click echo feature, echo expert feature. Okay, when I click on it, I want the ID, and this is the ID. And here I also want this to be called ID. In theory, that is good, but you never know. I'm human. I can also get things wrong. But let's try it right now and see, right? So the idea here now is for us to bind this expert with that one expert that we just created. The name was new expert featured. So let's go to it. New expert featured. We want to bind all the experts there, and we want to change here to new expert feature. Then feature. There are some, so let's start with this one. Full name. Again, we have to change full name. Then we have gradient. Great. And in the button, now you see there is a very different action here. So in the experts button here, it's using the echo request. And then it's going to go to page expert detail. And that page is actually the same page. So what this is going to do is to get the ID and reload the same page. So now instead of the 3 pages we had, we have 1. And I added here show an alert if there is an error called error. So we repeat this here too. Okay, we are going to the button here that there is a remote action. Then we are going to search for the echo request, right? Then we are going to go to page, and the page is the same we are. So it's the expert feature. And I want it on error to show an error alert. And that is supposed to be this. So now I am refreshing it. It will be ready? No. We need to bind the whole page, right? And that's a lot of work. I have to say it's actually a lot of work. And you see now, at least I hope what that we have done is that the slide works. So let's see if the slide is working. I am refreshing my app now. You have to close it and open it again. Oh no, I did not need to. So you'll see now we have back our experts. This is amazing. But you see, it kind of lost the ID. The gradient is not showing. So there is still something wrong. When I click, you see it's not changing the data because we didn't bind that yet. So let's go to the second step. Let's check here on the echo gradient. Is actually I did something wrong, and you see what. So in the new expert feature, you see that the data gradient is true or false, which means that I want to make it that visible or invisible. And I did bind it, but I bind it in the wrong place. So when you come here to gradient now, you see that I did bind it here. And I actually should not bind it here. I have to bind it and make it visible. So I want to make it visible when that is true, right? So here, the item that is true, you show now the gradient. So I will refresh it again and refresh it here. Now we have it. Let's see if we click in Megan, what happens. It's changing, but the data is still not changing, right? Because the data is wrong. So now let's go to the most complicated or a lot of work part. You see this page is huge, and we may not be able to do that in 15 minutes, but I will do my best to do that. Okay, we did the slide. So let's fix the picture. We are coming now from the new expert featured, and we are going to add the picture. So it's one of these two. I will add this one picture well, and I will refresh just to see if now we get the right picture. Afterwards, I will actually rename all these items. I really don't like these huge names for variables. So it's supposed to be working now. It is. You see, the images are already changing. But Joseph now has a lot of faces. We need to change the rest too. So now we keep just going. Okay, full name, expert. So let's change to new expert feature, full name. Okay, here. Then we have the work. And that will be the work that I do now. So you'll be coming field to field. I can click here, and I can click direct on the left side too. So here is new, and then city, and then here it is new, expert featured, and then here we are looking for a date, so fields date. And you see when I refresh that now, at least the name, the company, and those details you come from the database. It's really mainly it. I want to review it with you because the rest will be the same. I will just be clicking each of these parts and now celebrate that the next time I add something to the experts, like it can be podcasts that they add, videos and so on, I won't need to do it 3 times, but just one. And that's why it's so important to keep iterating, because this will be much faster. The navigation now will be cleaner. You see things around. So now let's check here. Megan, you see? Mega is already changing. Oza, you see the content here changing. So that is it. We made it. I will finish the whole page by myself, but I want to now go back and to the file where I wanted to, here. The idea for today was for us to understand the no-code constraints. So I want to talk with you about that. No-code constraints really just mean that you have sometimes to wait for that feature that you really want to launch it when it's possible, or even be creative, right? Like sometimes you want to build something that is you are not really able to do, and that's totally fine, but you can really wait for the next release and do it anyways. The second thing was really for us to explore these current featured experts and the navigation and make it persistent. You saw how I did it very easily, right? So it was simply just adding 2 scripts. One script that would run throughout all the experts and show which one was related, and then creating an echo request that would say, okay, Carla has clicked in this expert, so this one should be highlighted. And now that's possible. Sadly, it wasn't before, but now I can make it happen, and much faster and much simpler too. And then we implemented it in real time. We have not finished the whole page, and you will see the page broken probably for 30 minutes more or so, because I will go step by step finishing it. But that's it. I did update my app again. I made it possible. I will keep working on the app and finishing it. So you may see a little bit more of it live on the app very soon. I hope this was informative for you and that you understand that things are evolving. No code is evolving, AI is evolving, and you should take really a lot of it to your work. Like we can benefit from it. Use the tools. It was great to see you all here. I hope to see you next week when we are going to do the filtering. We are going to use this system from today to replicate the filters, so it will be much easier for you to get the jobs that you want. And remember, that session actually exists because I made a collaboration with Open Doors, and I'm really grateful for them. So let's make it really shine in this app next week. Come join me, and I will keep building live with you during or build a clock. See you next week. Bye.